Hello guys, I would like to show you a couple of examples of the workflow you can use to build very simple things in VR. For this workflow we need an idea. So the idea is just to have a virtual notepad, like a book, flipping book in VR. To have it, firstly we need to take a picture of such a object. Then we need to slightly tweak this stuff in Photoshop. As you can see, now I'm using a selection and more magical selection tools in Photoshop. So I will cut out the background and I will keep this image as a PNG with interesting details on the edge, so it will be looking like real, slightly distorted, not just a square. And we will export this thing as a PNG with transparency. Then we will import it into Blender. It's a bit tedious work, but because my MacBook Air is actually very slow, so it takes a little bit more time. Now when we have a selection, as you can see, we can just mask it and clicking firstly we have to invert selection and then we'll click mask. Then we can remove all the not important alpha channel, just cropping up to transparent pixels, as you can see. And now we'll just export this as a PNG, but before, because that is actually really huge amount of data, so we will make it 3 times smaller and we'll save it to the folder, giving this a name, the number. So as you can see, we jumped into the Blender. The Blender I have already like a table, like the beginning of the room, and we will import all of these images, including the image we've just prepared from the folder notepad. As you can see, I've got 5 images. I will select all of them and then I will click import images as planes. It's pretty much like this. Then I need to slightly rotate and scale down all these objects because they are too big, as you can see on the scene. So I will rotate them a few times, flip them and scale them down, and I'll put them on the table. And when they will be on the table, I can export it as a 3D model, as a file, GLB or GLTF. Also, I will slightly change shading options. Especially I will probably remove roughness from all of them. I will down the roughness to 0, I'm guessing. You can see that images, they to keep the alpha channel, the texture should be an image and linear, flat and clipped, but also we need to link alpha channel, so you can't see squares, you see precisely the image. I have selected all of them. When I will be exporting, I need to also tick in exporting preferences that I want to only export selected objects. Otherwise I will export it as a huge scene, which is not at this point necessary because I already exported the other elements of this scene, so we can see my final tweaks. Let's say it's gonna be like that. There are also the other models loaded. So we are exporting this. I have already remembered export settings, so I don't have to do this once again, but you have to check these tick boxes to keep this export settings remembered. I'm saving this as a notepad 1. I will show you in a sec that I will also do some sort of pipeline compression of the 3D models. Firstly, let's double check what's the size of this GLB file. In the folder assets, it's saved to this models as a notepad 1. It's really huge, 13.8 megabytes. So I'm jumping into a terminal and I'll change the directory to this folder. Firstly, we will keep original file untouched, but I will copy this file into compressed folder. And then, because we need to change in terminal the directory. Then, because I've got really weak memory, the command I already have in my history of the terminal, I will be using gltf pipeline. That's the command I'm just inserting. And as you can see, after this, we have processed a GLB file where all images are external, and GLB model is just 7 kilobytes. Now I can compress this PNG file separately, not touching a GLB model. I will be using TinyPNG and TinyPNG with a key. Those 5 images will be compressed probably like twice or 3 times, but from the size like 2 megabytes, I will have 700 kilobytes. Because I have really weak internet connection, that process would be much faster having better connection. Let's do it once again. That processing, it's pretty much manual. It could be pipelined. I can do more scripting in terms of automation, but for this purposes, it's gonna be like that. Sorry. The image 4 and 5 is actually twice bigger. That's why it's also twice bigger as a file size. Right, now I'm coming to the editor, code editor. This is brackets, and I will open my application's JavaScript file. The VR application is for WebXR technology, and I will be using a Free.js as a main 3D library. The main code is in app.js. I just going here to change the name of the file, which will be loaded into the application. I have already Notepad, but I will replace the string with a proper path. So it's gonna be I'm going to the folder manually from the terminal just to double check the path. It's in compressed folder. We need that name. We'll copy and paste. Sorry for I'm slightly slow today, and it's 1st January, so my brain is working slightly different than usual. Okay, we have a name. Now we can compile this using Webpack and Node technology. So it's going to open the browser, and the link to the browser is already there. However, because it's Webpack using HTTPS, we need to just skip some unsecurity messages, and there you go. There's a table, as you can see, and I'm loading all of those models like Cat, that flying SafeJet, the Rat, and the vehicle. And because it's opened in Brave, we cannot do some XR or actually VR testing with Firefox. For Firefox, there is a special extension or the add-on. It's called WebXR. So I will open this again in Firefox, and we are going to WebXR extension page. As you can see, there's a VR headset simulator. We can do some sort of inspection. We can have a special pose, and there is actually possibility to just test VR experiences without VR headset, just using this extension, which is pretty much time saving. As you can see, our model is on the table, and yeah, the first page we've done earlier, it's at the beginning. We can zoom slightly closer to have a look at the quality. Not too close. Yeah, that's compressed, but because we need faster load. And in here you can see myself using Oculus Quest 2 on my head, and I'm testing this thing in built-in WebXR browser inside actually virtual reality, so it's much more cooler than just only this 2D video. Yeah, we are there. Magnificent. So what we can do in this reality? At the moment, I was just playing with feature which is called attach to controller, and we can deassemble this vehicle and etc. Yeah, it's like in Minority Report slightly experience, so we can do cool educational immersive experiences. I hope so in the future. Well, I'm just playing. This is my third week, and it's pretty much promising to have this kind of possibilities. The possibilities are endless. It's all up to your imagination, nothing more. I wish you can do the same, especially during the lockdowns or limitations of interaction with real human beings. So virtual reality in 2021, it's gonna be a huge thing, and I'm going to be a VR designer and developer in once. It's so exciting. Thank you very much for watching my video, and see you later. Bye bye.